Hello everybody, so I just thought I'd talk about COPPA, the Children's Online Protection Agency Act. That is a law that's been around for a while but has just been updated, and it seems to be an example of one of those laws that is trying to keep up with the internet but doesn't quite understand how the internet works. And this current thing started in September, when Google and YouTube were fined $170 million for recording data on children aged under 13 on the YouTube platform. So this law could affect everybody. Well, it's an American law, but YouTube is American, so if anybody's using YouTube, then they're affected. And it could affect many other websites in terms of websites that collect information. I don't know exactly how it would relate to cookies, because they usually gather information on how a website is used, and if some of those users are children, even if okay, so I was going to say, even if the website isn't targeted at children, but the thing is that this law seems very fuzzy on actually defining what is something targeted at children. Then it's also said that if something might be attractive to a child, so if a child might like it, then this kind of comes under the umbrella of you are targeting children. But specifically, what this law seems to be going against is targeted advertising towards children. I don't know what to really say about that. I mean, if it's a kid and they think it's a kid and they're watching kids content and they're getting adverts for kids stuff, isn't that better than them getting adverts for inappropriate stuff? I'm not really sure. So let's go back to this lawsuit, this fine that kicked this whole thing off, and then we'll talk a bit more about how it affects so many people, and certainly users of YouTube and possibly the rest of the internet. So this fine for collecting children's data and serving them personalised advertisements. YouTube is a site which is defined as for users 13 or over. So the children that they're supposed to be targeting that are under this age group are not supposed to be able to use YouTube or be signing up for YouTube. But as it's a site where you can embed videos, and I don't think you necessarily need an account to watch them, I suppose there's an argument there that there's no barrier to stop children from using it. And there's this assumption that parents are not giving their consent to the children to watch the videos, and I'm wondering if there should be any system, if it would be just simpler to put a system in place where parents signed up for accounts and clicked somehow confirmed, yes, we've given consent, and that's all fine. And otherwise, I don't know, if you don't have a YouTube account, maybe you can't watch embedded videos. But yeah, the whole idea is that it's the children of this age group aren't supposed to be watching these videos anyway. and that's not what the site as a whole is aimed at. However, YouTube channels, there are some which you can say these are definitely explicitly aiming at children because they're toy companies. And this is basically what made this lawsuit versus Google and YouTube successful, because they have toy companies on YouTube that are very much aimed at children and trying to sell to children. Right. So now YouTube has this app called YouTube Kids, and being an app does mean that you have to download it and install it, and it's not as accessible as YouTube is. So why can't YouTube Kids just be a second website that kids can use? Perhaps, I don't know, with it being an app, they do have that whole parental consent stuff that is needed under the law. But why can't YouTube just move this content that is explicitly for children to YouTube Kids and encourage creators to create that sort of content, that this is in fact the website you should be using, or the app you should be using to share your videos for children? Another issue I feel may be that some accounts are actually explicitly children's accounts and children's videos that they have made of themselves, and with YouTube not being a kids platform, they frequently get very inappropriate comments from trolls, shall we say, they should not be getting exposed to on a regular basis, certainly not. Right, so this has kind of escalated from being a lawsuit solely against YouTube to the FTC, who wrote this law, actually targeting individuals and content creators for this, and making them liable for something like £42,000 per video that is mislabeled. So at the moment, YouTube has just installed a system where you can tick it's for kids or it's not for kids, and if you get it wrong, then you could be liable to this massive fine. And one of the ways that they are using to identify this sort of video is machine learning, which hasn't been very reliable so far. YouTube has been using it to identify videos that have copyrighted content in it, and flagging videos and demonetizing them, and this has notoriously been known to put up a lot of false flags. So is the same thing going to happen here? People are going to be accused of posting content that falsely, that is targeting kids. That sounds really sort of predatory, doesn't it? Like, we need to protect these children from these people who are targeting them, when all they're doing is making like family friendly content. And I thought that was a good thing, yeah, but apparently now it is wrong and it is evil. Remember that all these content creators, they're not actually doing any of the recording of that information. They are these content creators are collecting no information on children. That is entirely down to the platform. So I'm not exactly certain how they're going to be yeah, I just don't know how these lawsuits are going to work. You've been collecting data on children. No, we haven't actually. So onwards into the whole calamity of this. So because of YouTube having this kind of advertiser friendly policy and only wanting to show advertisements on videos that advertisers would like, they've been demonetizing sites that use adult language. So so now we're kind of between a rock and a hard place, as in you can't use adult language, you can't use kid-friendly language. Exactly how are you supposed to talk? Can you say nothing? And so the kid-friendly content, if your videos are labelled as for kids, this is what happens. People will not get notifications on those videos anymore. They won't be able to make playlists. Ads, will there be ads on these videos? Let's just say there'll be much fewer ads, so basically the revenue stream will dry up. So creators who are trying to make a living via this, bye-bye. Apparently they won't be showing up on any recommended lists, and I'm not sure whether this is true, but I heard that they wouldn't be showing up in searches either. And so what are they doing here? They're just burying videos that are aimed at kids, and how does that help? So all the videos that kids are going to be able to find if they do a Google search is going to be adult content. Huh? What? How is this protecting kids? I'm just not sure. So, with this in mind, are YouTubers, for safety and sort of keeping their content visible and being able to keep creating, and in some cases be earning their living from their creations, be forced to make their content 18 plus, just to be sure that their videos won't be buried. And then we come on to enforcement, and how is this law going to be enforced against all these millions and billions of videos that are on YouTube? And I don't know how many go up a day. Thousands go up every day. How is the FTC going to be checking all these videos? Presumably it's going to be mainly through this unreliable machine learning. And who are they going to be applying these fines against? And is it going to be applied fairly? It seems to be a rather difficult law to enforce fairly. And, well, I guess I don't really have much more to add to that. It's just bewildering and very very hard on content creators, and all this coming in to limit what you can create. And the confusing thing of would a kid possibly find this, that they like this? And okay, I do have more to say about this. It turns out that some of the content in this is described as being kids attractive is arts and crafts and animation. So that's a huge field, and so they're going to be burying all arts and crafts videos as animation and animation. I just don't think that's right. I do drawing videos and videos of cartoons, but artists are going to be persecuted for this. Yeah, it's a stupid law. Of course children should be protected online, but I just don't think this is an effective way of doing it. It's, if anything, it seems like it might be doing the opposite and driving them towards content that is completely unsuitable for them. Oh, what are your thoughts? Oh, and because I feel shy in front of the camera, here I am, and I'm using this cartoon avatar, and that's probably evil and wrong. Like, share, subscribe. While this still exists, we may all have to move on and evacuate the internet. Take care. Goodbye.